I'm Michael Mookeye Bell, Gunditjmara. We're out at the part of the Gunditjmara Nation is the Croakey mob, water people, and this is Croakey Country. We're at the Tae Rak Centre, cultural centre, which has been established by our people to provide experiences for all to experience the Gunditjmara story, and it's significant because it does. It provides opportunity for our people. Self-determination, which helps people grow and families grow, is having a job. So to have a weekly wage, a good wage, is significant. In our early days of creating a community organisation, we used to get grants that used to be for 3 months, and you couldn't recruit people. Mainly the women who wanted to work in our health space. Our mob, we wanted to work Aboriginal health workers. They took it on, but they only had 3-month agreements to work with, and which was really tough. And today we get longer agreements, which is really strong. A lot of these guys could actually go and buy a home, and not only just physically help people, but grow mentally and strong in being self-determining. And as a community, we, through the old ATSIC, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander days in the 90s, we were able to get grants for houses, and today many of the women have brought those homes. They rented first. They were a bit worried about taking on the risk, but we made sure that they had significant equity, like 50% ownership, and today to watch their families grow, to go and buy new stuff, like upgrade their car. I mean, if you had a bad car, you'll get connected to the police criminal justice system. Broken light, you're out helping. Generally, someone in the family didn't have a licence. The hamburgers a lot would happen. And that's where we see the connection to the criminal justice system over representation. So little things as having a licence, having access to a car to take your family to health services was really important. I'm a member of the Winda-Mara Aboriginal Corporation in town, and it's we've been around self-determining for many years, and one of our biggest assets were cars, because we want to make sure people could go to the medical services, they could drive themselves, win a reliable car, take their mum or their nan to these places and be seen. And we've seen growth in our elders. My mum's 88 now. A lot of her family, a couple of family members got to 60, 70 out of 9 of them, but about 6 of them passed before they were under 50, a couple had passed under 40, and one passed in jail in the 1970s. He wasn't a part of the Royal Commission in deaths in custody, but Uncle Alan was someone we all loved, and it's what grows us, and we want to make sure those things don't happen to our families today. Yeah.
Beautiful. Can you tell us a little bit about the truth-telling work that you do here? What role is truth-telling and what difference that makes?
Truth-telling is really important. I'm 62 now. Growing up and going to school, there was nothing. It was Captain Cook discovered Australia, and you go home and you get told no, he never, which is. Hence, I went to football and cricket. It was something I could understand. And it was good for my well-being because, wow. And then on the journey, we didn't have access to this place. A lot of our elders, through their friendships with non-Aboriginal people, could go to the eel traps down the road here, but they were private properties then, and they belonged to people. And the journey to get this land back, which was really important, and so we had only Sandra Onus and only Tina Saunders on our behalf for the Kerrip-Mara. Started to build Alcoa, and the 2 aunts on our behalf pulled out the Relics Act way before there was a Heritage Act, and a part of the determination. The aunties said, well, we want to get the old Lake Condah mission back because it belonged to it was privately owned. And it was a 100-acre site. The reason they got it back, wanted it back, because there was a lot of sad stories about the missions, but there's also community came from the missions, and that was the importance around your well-being. And so since about 1984 to today, we've been going back to that bit of country, and getting our well-being looked after. Our stories are there, and we don't take tours there. We keep people get access, but it's got to be a special purpose. But it's really important that the Gunditjmara people have access to it and take their families. And we find a lot of people who have coming back with stolen gens. They're able to go there and connect to country. Today's been great. A couple of people who were speaking to me today about their connection to here. Their mum had passed away, and it's really, the journey was really important to them, and you can see it in them. It's really important. Health and country is really, really important. I was talking about the ATSIC days with the Tumbuka Council in the early 90s. They created a fund called the Tumbuka Land Fund, and it was to buy lands across the Tumbuka region, which was half of Victoria, the western half. And it was to buy land. So if you were not a traditional owner from this country, like I'm a Gunditjmara, you might have been from the top end and you've set up your life here, a First Nations person. They wanted to make sure all people, especially stolen generations, had access to land to understand and reconnect to their culture. And so that well-being is really, really important. I think it's really important in native title today that we see land. Since the Arnie's got us Lake Condah back, out here, the Bud's been World Heritage. We with partners and friends helped us create to get World Heritage inscription. It was a project we started in 2002. Uncle Kenny Saunders, the late Uncle Kenny, he had a vision, bringing everybody together, and he created that with everybody. To bring partners together to create that, and one of it was to re-flood Lake Condah, to get this water behind us. It wasn't here, 2013. It's a part of the regrowth. Our elders from the 1984 decision, they got water into the other part of the lake, and it was our turn to make sure it kept growing, and it's really important. And Uncle Kenny's got a saying on the walk in here, if the lake's good, we're good. And this is a really dry time for our country. I've never seen it this dry. A lot of non-Aboriginal farmers, we're communicating about the dryness here right now. And to still have water here is significant, and you can see the pleasure on people's faces and the feelings they get, their well-being felt really good. The walk yesterday, we got to the end, and the elders said, you can put your feet in the water, on the sea country, and it was really important. So connection to country is really, there's benefits from it, and we've seen our community grow. I'm a former CEO of Winda-Mara. From our early days of starting a medical service, we started collecting our data, so we're getting our own IP, and back in my early days in the mid-90s, we had about 5 elders over 70. Today we'd have 40, and that's the significance of what it does. Connection to country, connection to community, giving back as much as they can, as well as but contributing, and not being told what to do, but wanting to participate is significant, and hence the resources are still are needed to support that. And so it's a good model. It came out of, the Aboriginal Community Control model came out of Fitzroy. A lot of our mob were down at Fitzroy with Dr. McInerney, and, the innovation they had from going from a park to delivering a medical service, that holistic medical service, which is your whole well-being, is the best model of health in the world. And as they spoke about, and many of our Gunditjmara leaders, Kelvin Onus was a significant leader down, a young bloke with Dr. McInerney. He when he come home, he's going, the holistic's got to be done, and health, housing, education, and connection to country is what the methodology is. And from a Winda-Mara and Gunditjmara perspective, that's what we're delivering on to support families. Yeah.